I've had depression, like clinical depression, for like my entire adolescence. And so that's been something that I've always dealt with or not known how to deal with. It made it easier, like the more I drank and did drugs, to share some common ground with people that I wouldn't have. It didn't start out as like a huge thing for me, but then it became a really huge thing for me.
That was Chiara de Blasio, the eldest daughter of New York City Mayor-elect Bill de Blasio, admitting to a history of drug and alcohol problems in a highly produced video she released on YouTube today. The 19-year-old says she's been through treatment. Now, throughout the mayoral campaign, Bill de Blasio and his aides were asked about his daughter's reported substance abuse, and they consistently refused to answer. And that may be something of an issue because of how heavily de Blasio relied on his family and his family's story as part of the campaign. And Dominic, let me start with you. You've been through the wars with City Hall and with the mayors before. What's really going on? What's the story behind the story here today? This is something that the press corps had for a while, it seemed like.
This is something the press corps has been sitting on and working on for several weeks. This is not new. So, first of all, you have to give credit to Bill de Blasio's daughter, because it is a profile in courage for this young lady to who's in her sophomore year of college. When you meet her, you realize she's a very pleasant, nice young lady. But there's a downside to when you push your family up front and make them the prop of your campaign. And what the mayor-elect did was he released the story today on his terms before the newspapers got a chance to do it.
It was coming out.
Oh, it was this is the first of many things that's about to drop. And so, yeah, and I'm not stuttering when I say this.
Wow.
This is the first of several things. But he's the mayor now, so it really doesn't matter. He's already elected. He survived the test, if you will, so far. But it's going to be very interesting because now, her life is going to change in terms of, hopefully the media will leave her alone,
But it's not really about her. I mean, this is about Bill de Blasio, about the incoming mayor, the mayor-elect. Is this a problem for him, and if so, why? Is it because he didn't talk about it? Is it because
I think it's the opposite of that. How do you, we were talking off camera, I don't know the first thing about this man's politics. How do you put your family as the focal point of your campaign when you know you have these skeletons in the closet with the family and they're going to come out, especially if you make them targets to get people looking and digging around there? What kind of judgment do you have to put your own political fortunes ahead of your daughter's rehabilitation? Because, maybe there's 12 steps, maybe there's some value to absolving herself, coming out on TV and having this confessional. I'm not a rehab expert, but I think most people would want to rehab in private with their doctor and not do this in public. It's not church. So how do you put your family, how do you subordinate what's best for them to your own political aspirations? It makes no sense to me.
It does raise a character issue, and it says, what's in your past, Mr. Mayor? And that's what reporters are digging into right now.
You think there's more?
As we speak. I know there's more. Reporters are digging into it right now.
And the more we're talking about Bill de Blasio and his personal life or his family life, the less we're talking about Bill de Blasio, the mayor, Bill de Blasio and his platform, Bill de Blasio and what he wants to do for New York.
Well, right now, the only thing I know about him is his daughter and his publicist.
And we'll get to that in a second.
That's the only thing I know about him.
Does this will make it harder for him to govern as mayor?
The honeymoon is becoming, Andrew, shorter.
Was there a honeymoon?
And shorter and shorter. And so, he's the mayor now, and in a matter of days, he will take the oath of office.
Yeah, but we elected this guy who's like Chauncey Gardner. We don't really know what he's about. He's a blank slate, and we're going to have a little experiment in governing, and we're going to see what tomorrow brings. It sounds like Rex Ryan.
Well, one thing I do agree with, I think all of us, if we had to go the route of addiction and recovery and so on, we would like to do that in private. And this young lady who attends college in California, and her demeanor, she's a very nice young lady.
To be clear, this is not at all about her. She probably had
really
a metaphorical gun to her head to do that.
But if this is a problem for Bill de Blasio, why didn't it come out during the campaign? If there are other things that reporters are working on or that they may have known on?
Because no one really thought he had a chance at winning. So it was like, why rock the boat? His campaign didn't want to talk about it. And it only became an issue as of late when the mayor-elect got upset when the papers revealed that his daughter was going to school in California.
Yeah, but in fairness,
he didn't want that out.
If you're right, and I suspect you are, the media have culpability here as well. Because if the media were complicit in keeping this under wraps, and then they spring it a week before his inauguration, give the guy a chance. Don't set him up for failure like this.
Right.
Either bring it out in the beginning so we can make an informed decision about whether this person is the person we want governing us, or let it go and let him have a fair shake in the office.
I don't know if either one of those options sells more papers. And
Well, that's it. Oh, look, this is great.
Speaking of the tabloids and the papers getting into this not the only personal life headache for the mayor-elect tonight. His top aide and spokeswoman, Liz Smith, getting the tabloid treatment for a reported relationship with Eliot Spitzer, the still married former governor, and John. The Daily News going with sex in City Hall, another L of a shocker was their headline. And after she called out sick yesterday, the News went with, he makes us sick too, Liz. The Post on de Blasio's no comment on the affair thus far. That's on the left side of the paper. It's her affair, de Blasio dodging Liz Spitz romance. And because it's a sex scandal, the hits keep on coming. The News hammering de Blasio for not saying if he'll keep Smith on board, while a Democratic strategist attacking Smith, saying she has gone from pro to bimbo in one day. Stay classy, people. Merry Christmas. This one's got it all. First of all, it's got Eliot Spitzer. You're going to throw a sex or romance
STD
story.
because you can't just go away already. He crops up at the most inopportune moments. Just go away. Stop.
This one's a whole meal. This one feels like a whole meal.
You know, one wishes the best for this communications official, but I don't see how she can survive. Not in the capacity of press secretary. She's going to have very little credibility now.
Why can't she survive? This is who she wants to carry on with. They're separated. Who cares what she does?
Right, nobody's under the illusion that the Spitzers were still happily married.
Right.
I mean, it's...
But he's still married.
You think that's it, the stigma because he's still married?
He's still married, and because the papers, the pictures that they took played right into, this is something that's not supposed to happen.
So
look at what they're doing
at
this guy 3 o'clock in the morning.
He hooks women in. The more disgraced he is, the more women he gets. How does this work? How does it work?
The nice guy routine doesn't work. It doesn't...
I guess not.
But remember now, in all of this, I said a shorter honeymoon for the mayor-elect. If you're Bill de Blasio, you're going, oh my God, because right now, you know, so now reporters are going to double check everything that he says.
You know what? For me, if he caves in to this media pressure to get rid of this woman, that raises even more questions about the guy. I mean, he said, everyone around him said she's a skilled political mouthpiece or whatever you want to call it, spokesperson for the campaign. All she's doing is having an affair of choice. She's making, maybe in some people's estimation, a dopey choice, but it doesn't impact her ability to do the job. Who really cares about this other than the fact that it's this god-awful Spitzer who can't go out and get a real job like the rest of us? Lay bricks, go to McDonald's, do something. Stop getting in the news. Just stop.
But how do we know how many other pictures the newspapers may have?
Of her with him?
That they haven't run yet. Right. In the middle of the night, creeping allegedly.
I don't know if it's her, if it's the affair that's the problem, because how many couples in New York or how many affairs are going on in New York City at any one point, but it's the Spitzer involvement in all this.
Yeah, that's
the fact, isn't it? If it was somebody else, except maybe Anthony Weiner, it would be, it might not even be that big. I don't know. But I figured de Blasio's got to cut her loose just to get the story moving on to something else.
Well, then they're going to go harass this Spitzer's poor, long-suffering wife again. She's probably ecstatic about this because he's away from her. She doesn't have to deal with him, and maybe it'll expedite the divorce and all the pot of money she's going to get from him. Whatever.
You don't do divorce law, do you?
No, God, no. I want this guy. I've talked about him on here with you guys before. He's a great man. What he needs to do is work. He needs to go out, even if it's just at a law firm, go back to litigating cases.
Spitzer, you're saying?
Yeah, go to work. Work.
Wait, Counselor, yeah. Mr. Spitzer would say he does work.
What does he work
every day?
As a Lothario? What does he work at?
He runs an extremely successful real estate company in the city of New York.
Is that work? Is that what you do? He tried doing what you do. It didn't work out too well. Nobody watched it.
He's working it after the sun goes down.
He makes several $1 million a year.
I know he's making plenty of money. Just go away. He needs to just go.
Go.
Wherever he goes, to a penal colony, no pun intended, just go.
All right, we're going to go to a quick break here on RFL. Up next, the year in law. The key cases, according to our com law expert. Among them, that big ruling on stop and frisk in New York. It's on our list, but maybe not for the reason you might think. We're going to get into that and more next.